because I have no voice apparently, and I didn't realize that until I started streaming because I haven't been talking at all today. So I want to talk about the audio problem that happened. All right, who here watched the keynote? X up for me. X up for me for keynote watchers. I know there's, yeah, there we go. Emotional's one. Okay. So, you guys heard that fuzziness that happened, right? I have a clip of it, but I don't know if I have time to play it, because you guys know what I'm talking about. There was that clip that came up. Hey, Sidar. Yeah, I'm back. We're talking a little bit about Eve North right now. Okay. So, do you guys want to... Here's what happened. It wasn't 5 minutes. It was actually less than a minute. So here's what happened. Okay. Did you guys notice the flashing screen? Edpex, how's it going, buddy? Did you guys notice the flashing screen? This is important. Okay. Here's where it all happened. So the first presentation, we saw the flashing screen. And it happened a couple times where it was flashing to black and we didn't know what was going on. So the entire setup, what it had was it ran 4 boxes, like, of those converters. 3 from cameras, 1 from a feed from the presentation. So we had 4 total of feeds coming into the computer, into the stream machine. And what happened was the one from the presentation started flashing and then it stopped. And we were like, okay, it's fine. The intro presentation, it didn't crop back up. Maybe it was just some little glitch. It's okay. We're going into the keynote. Let's do the keynote. And so we go into the keynote. And right when we hit Project Discovery, it starts doing that flashing again. So we're trying to figure this out. Me and EQ are behind the scenes, behind the computer, trying to figure out what's going on. And so he's off because we think it might be something with the sound lady from the venue. So he gets up to go talk to her, so I man the station. I take it off of the screen because we don't want a flashing screen on there. And so we take it off for a bit. This is prior to the sound issues. So we're trying to figure this out. We're trying to think of a solution because we need the slides. It's the keynote. We need the slides. And finally, after brainstorming, we find a solution. The solution is if we plug in the thing and unplug it, this image freezes. So we can do that for every single slide to have the frozen image that we show you guys. And so we do that once, and that's another Project Discovery slide we get. And then we do it again. And the audio starts happening. Now, we were monitoring audio ourselves and what was being output, but because of the video issue, we didn't have our headphones on because we were communicating with each other and trying to figure this out. Well, so we had a group of 6. We had a team of 6. 3 people manned the cameras, 2 people were behind the scenes, and 1 person was in charge of watching the stream at all times. Their job was to watch the stream and to monitor Twitch chat to see how you guys were reacting so we could adjust. That went off, and Miss Moses, who was manning that, came over and was like, guys, the audio is bad. We're like, what? The audio is bad. And we looked down and we're like, what is going on? We didn't do anything. The setup's been working. And then we notice that the Elgato we were using was plugged into a USB port right beside the microphone. We unplug it, we pull it out and in the audio really quickly. Audio's good. All right, now we have audio back. Now we got to get the feed back up. And we're like, crap. We have to get the feed. We now think it's this box that we have back here, the Elgato. And we have to get that screen going. So, and somebody has to still be running the camera, still be behind the stream running the show. So EQ gets on the ground and we have 2 cameras. This is where it gets crazy. We have 2 cameras that run through the same tape. And we're going to unplug one of them. We have to unplug the wide. We can't unplug the other one. And so we get under there and it's a 50-50 shot if it's right or not. And I'm sitting there and I make sure we're not on the scene. And he unplugs it and I'm like, yes. So I grab the cable behind me and pull it over me and toss it under. EQ shoves it into the Elgato, and it comes on. And then I'm like, it's up, it's stable, it's not flashing, and then we pull the slideshow back on. So you guys heard the audio snafu. That was the craziness that was going on. Where 3 of us are sitting there trying to figure out this problem that's going on. We're trying to get everything working, and it's the keynote, and so there's just this hectic chaos. And I looked at chat again, and I remember seeing chat with ISDs and CCP chiming in. It was like, they know, they're fixing it. And we know before anybody else, like, we were just, it was craziness. But we got it back. We got it as quickly as we could. And honestly, I was very proud on how fast we found the issue, and then we fixed it. And I know Twitch chat was going crazy for that 30 seconds to a minute, how long it was. But like, when someone comes over and tells you, by the way, your audio's wrong, we have no idea why. What we ended up figuring out later on is that Elgato box, Raiden was the one manning the camera for the close-up. So, he wasn't focusing right, you know? That's how emotional. What we believe the issue was the Elgato, for some reason, on white screens, white background screens, it would flicker. So we think those white screens were causing it to have to pull a lot of power from the USB. And because of that, it wasn't getting enough power, it was causing the flickers. But it was also in the USB right beside our audio thing. Because we run a professional audio microphone into a converter, into USB. And we think because it was drawing so much power, it screwed up the audio thing. So once we pulled it and unplugged and replugged, it fixed it. And we just didn't plug anything else into that USB beside it. And it was golden. So that's what happened. That's the rundown on that. And it did feel like forever. It was like 30 seconds for you guys. But that moment, like, everything was just, it felt like the world was collapsing around because we're responsible for this stream. If we don't get this up, it's down. Now, that's why we're there, though, because we love this stuff. We want to make sure it's amazing for you guys. Well, see, and I think that might be it, Carino, because it was a USB 3.0, so we're not sure. We don't understand why, we just know that fixed it. And that was my guess, and it's probably not really it. Maybe there's something else that caused that to happen, and it was a coincidence. But it was so much fun to get it fixed. It really was. So I hope that answered anybody's questions about why that audio thing happened. And for those of you who don't know, essentially it was 6 of us Streamfleet people who did the entire